What's going on, guys? So here's my question for the day. When was the last time you changed your mind because you lost a debate? I've been going through some hard times in my life, right? And I haven't gotten into all the details of it all yet. But when someone tells you you're wrong, sometimes if they even prove you wrong, when was the last time you changed your mind? On the other hand, how much more open are you to changing your mind when someone checks in with you and tries to understand your perspective, why you feel that way, or maybe asks you questions or thoughts about the perspective you have, making you question your own perspective? Not in an attacking way, but a loving, like, well, if you feel that way, why not, ... Got a couple examples of this. Number one, when I was younger, I was on the radio once and I debated this gal and I kicked her butt, did really good. And I came home and I had a landlord that was living on the same property, and he swung by and he's like, "Hey man, I think I heard you on the radio." And I was like, "Yeah." So proud of myself. He's like, "You did a great job, man. You dominated that debate. Well done, well done." And then he started asking me questions about my position. And I realized that I couldn't answer the questions in a logical way. And so I went straight into trying to figure out what he believed so I could attack him to prove his point wrong. Not to defend mine, but just to attack him. And he wouldn't fall for it at all. He was like, "It doesn't matter what I think. I was just asking you what your beliefs were on that topic, since that's what you won the debate on." And I was dumbfounded to the point where I was like, I just genuinely wanted to know what he thought, because my argument was so weak and so pathetic that I couldn't defend myself. So at that point, I wanted to know, hey, well, what's your beliefs? Why do you feel this way? Because obviously I'm wrong. I didn't tell him that, but I was too prideful. But as time progressed, I ended up actually having very similar political beliefs to him. Fast forward to now, I'm going through some very intense family pain, emotional pain, spiritual pain, financial pain, all that stuff, right? And so you're going through that, and I've had people that say I'm a sinner, I'm not a Christian, I'm not going to heaven, I'm a horrible person. And all of those people might be right. I hope not. It's possible though. But how little does it change my mind? Honestly, not very much. And I've lost friends, and I've lost family, and I've lost actually the majority of my family, the majority of my friends, when it comes to communicating with me or talking with me or things like that. And has that changed my decisions or changed my perspective? No. And I would argue that if you're a friend or you're a family member and you're doing that to somebody, and are you really wanting them to change their perspective based on the peer pressure of you're not going to be a friend with them unless they do it? Do you really want your friends to be such cowards that they won't stand up for what they believe in, and they'll only do it because they're worried about your reaction to them? Sounds like a pretty terrible friend. Doesn't sound like a very good person. Doesn't sound like the type of person you should be around. Hopefully not the type of person you're trying to promote. And so as I've gone through this, I've also had very few, but a few people who have reached out to me in a very different light. Not an attacking light. Maybe they feel the exact same way. Maybe I've hurt them just as much. But instead of attacking me or insulting me or saying you're not a Christian or whatever else, they'll try to understand my perspective. And then they'll go from that perspective, okay, well, Brandon, if you feel that way and you feel this way, how do you justify calling yourself a Christian if you're doing ... Or Brandon, if you feel this way and you love your kids, how do you justify your position of saying that you love your kids, but you're doing ... Not an attack, a genuine, like, I'm trying to understand you. I'm trying to understand your perspective. And please bring more clarity to me. And if they have questions that I haven't answered myself, then it's going to make me go, wow, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I should change my perspective. Maybe I'm not thinking about this more accurately. And so my challenge for everybody that's listening, which is not very many people, it's a pathetic or a little tiny channel. I shouldn't call it pathetic because I just started this thing. But my challenge to you is to just genuinely ponder in your mind how many times you've changed your mind when you've lost a debate or been proven wrong or anything else. And then more importantly, when have you changed your mind? I'd love to hear your thoughts. So you could write a comment. When have you changed your mind in real life? Like where somebody actually brought up, was it evidence? Or did they prove you wrong? Did they yell at you? Did they mock you? Did they ridicule you? Or was it in a more genuinely nice way, like I was just describing? I know the best way for me to change my mind is for you to genuinely get to know me good enough that I believe you know me. I believe you care about me. I believe you have my best interest at heart. And then to ask me questions that maybe I haven't considered that make me second guess my position. That's the best way to change my mind. Maybe it's very different for you. But the whole point of this is to ask you to try to become that person that is more attractive to others and will be more appealing to others when it comes to trying to change their mind. For me, peer pressure is one of the worst ways in the world to change my mind. And it's what I've surrounded myself with. And that's a terrible thing. And I've learned the lesson of that. And now I'm trying to surround myself with people who do care about me in the way that I want to be cared for. And I want to become the friend that cares about others enough to know them good enough that I can ask them those questions that hopefully lead them the right way. And if they aren't going the way that I think they should go, hopefully I know them good enough to understand why. And to go, you know what? I don't agree with them, but I respect it and I understand why. It's good enough for me. That's my challenge. How can we change people's minds? How have you changed your minds? And how can we be better friends who aren't trying to force our ideas on others, but are trying to understand another person's position to help them better their lives, to help us understand them better? Cheers, guys. Have a wonderful day.